Well, hello! Let me introduce you to the Meepo Atom, or the Mini 3S. It's Meepo's new mini board that's also a kicktail. This thing packs some really impressive specs into a small size. It has all the build quality and features you'd want to see. And it has the ability to turn on a dime in place and do other cool tricks. Shameless plug here. If you like what you see, check out the links in the description for yourself to save some money. As usual, we'll get started with the unboxing, and if you're feeling impatient or you just don't like the experience of an X-Acto blade cutting open boxes, that's okay. You can skip forward like 30 seconds. We'll probably be talking about specs then, and you'll be safe. The packaging is clean and nice. There's a handle on the box just in case you're gonna carry this around before you ever open it, or if you want to use it as a case, I guess, in the future. And we get the first looks at the board. I can't stress like how small this is versus other electric skateboards already. But the deck looks wide, almost wider than I thought. Once we get it out, you can see, like, this thing has such a stout appearance. It is so dense. It's like everything that a full-size board has, but just packed into a smaller package. The deck is made of 8 layers of Canadian maple. It's super stiff, but it uses a concave shape to keep you from getting fatigued or worn out. The underside of the deck is clean. I like the design on it, even though you're not going to see that too much. Everything's waterproofed well, which is good to see. The battery has 216 watt-hours packed into it. Little shape, but it's going to get you 17 miles or 27 kilometers of range. It has a nice case on it. Same thing with the ESC. It's going to be the newer generation from Meepo. On the front and rear end, we've got the 5th generation shredder truck from Meepo. They're super reliable. And then we see the kicktail pad that's going to keep you protected when you're leveraging that back end for swinging around. This board features Meepo's slightly more powerful 540 watt motors on both sides, giving us a hill climb of 22% and a 29 mile per hour or 47 kilometer per hour top speed. The wheels are Meepo's Century wheels, which are 90 millimeters by 65 millimeters. They're wide all the way through, so you're going to get good grip, and then they're swappable. These generations are easier to change out. Here we see the heat sinks on the ESC to keep it from overheating, and the power button, which is super satisfying, has a nice blue glow. This is the first time I've ever turned the remote on. It paired right away. Everything's charged up well. Just like any other remote, neutral in the center does nothing. Rocking it forward accelerates. Letting go does nothing. Putting the brakes on is pulling backwards. You can press the mode button to change the speed modes. And if you hold down the brakes, then press the mode button, you can change the braking power. The remote is also going to feature an odometer, a trip meter, and then you can reverse your directions forward or backwards when you're in stopped positions. In the box, we got some extra bushings to swap out for the 100. Here's the remote we saw earlier. Yeah, I put it back in the box to pull it out, but it's their newer screen remote. I like having everything on site. Of course, T-tool. Everything you need to do with the board in one tool. Thanks, Meepo. Then we are going to have the charger. which is a 2 amp charger. It takes about 3 hours to charge this board fully. Then some extra diagnostic cables, which is actually really cool. In case you have any trouble, I guess it'll help Meepo figure out what's wrong with your board faster. Then the user's manual, which of course we will all read very diligently. I'm gonna step on with the remote turned on already and test out the kicktail part of that. The cool thing about the kicktail is having your weight backwards behind the back wheel lets you swing the board around and do other things you wouldn't be able to otherwise. Magic for electric skateboards. I am glad that I did not hurt myself doing that. I'll have to practice more later, but I'll show you what it's like to stand on the board. It definitely is a mini board, like it's not very long, but it is as wide as usual. The concave is actually really nice. It keeps you planted in the center. And the trucks and the bushings feel really nice and smooth. Overall, since it's such a small board, it feels easy to control. And speaking of easy to control, this thing is so easy to pick up and move around. It's not very heavy, I think 28.5 pounds. Put that on screen. Just what a cool look. Overall, I really like the look of this board. Bonus feature, when I went to plug this thing in and charge it for the next day, I noticed that it shows you the charging percentage and the charging amperage when you're plugged in, so that is super nice. Obviously, I cannot leave you without some footage of riding. I want to do a different review video after I've had a little bit more time on it, so I can do an earnest review. But I can say that I've had a blast so far on this thing. It's a lot of fun. It's a completely different package. I'm gonna definitely take some time to learn how to do all the different skills with cornering and things like that. Super pumped to do more. So stay tuned, subscribe, check out the links in the description if you're interested in your own. And thank you to Meepo for sending me this board to review.